Hi, I'm Katie from Zenity Health and Fitness, and I am here to answer a question today from Lisa, who is one of our Women of Vitality, which is a group of women who are working collectively to understand a little bit more about vitality, energy, how that can be influenced, and how you can influence a more positive lifestyle through how we think, how we eat, and how we move. And Lisa has a great question today about hormones, and she says she would like to hear more information on hormones and how diet can affect them. And this is such a huge area. It's a really complex area to try and explore in a couple of minutes, but I'm going to do my best to give you the Katie overview, very simple, non-geeky science approach to hormones and food. And I suppose the first thing is to understand a little bit about what hormones actually are. And in the simplest, bare bones kind of way, hormones are chemical messengers. They signal to the cells what to do. So they may ask the cells to release something more. They may ask the cells to suppress and not release something. So it's a very clever mechanism of your body trying to stay in balance. And the body always wants to stay in balance. So food can, or more importantly, the nutrition, the nutrients within the food itself that you're eating or what you're drinking can have an effect, as well as so many other things in your day-to-day life that can affect your hormones and your cellular health. But food, if we focus on that, can actually, for better or maybe for not so good, influence the way your hormones are released and how much and what's suppressed and what's excited and released more of. And when I try and think about hormones, I think about hormones as a train running. It has a destination, it knows where it wants to go, but it may not know the best route. And if you think about food being signals along that way, along that route, so what you eat can either turn on or turn off signals. So your train, your hormones, will either get to its destination and do what it needs to do, release a little bit more of something, release a little less of something, and do that very easily. Or food will switch on and switch things off and actually get you to a different destination. So it may actually mean that you've eaten something that actually suppresses something so much it then has a cascade effect on all the other hormones. And that's when it gets a bit complex, because hormones interact with one another. There are so many hormones within your body, and they all have, or usually have, more than one role. They will affect one another. And so when you eat food, the nutrition, the nutrients, and as they go through digestion, which is a hormonal process in itself, but can influence certain hormones. And if we just take serotonin, for instance, as an example, and I think it's relevant with the grey skies that we've been having today, and it's relevant for what we cover in, Lisa, the Women of Vitality content. Serotonin is something we've talked about before, because serotonin is it's kind of your mood elements of it affects how you feel. And we want to have serotonin. We actually want really efficient productivity of serotonin in our body. And if I talk to you just about one food, because I know that I've already rambled on quite a lot, but if I talk to you about how alcohol can influence, when you ingest alcohol, part of the substances within alcohol actually can affect serotonin quite heavily and quite drastically, and can actually suppress the release of serotonin. So it can affect your mood for some people almost instantly, but for others it can actually affect their mood for several days afterwards. And I'm sure that we've all had times when we've had some alcohol and it's actually affected our mood quite negatively for a couple of days afterwards, and maybe beyond the realms of a hangover. But certainly if you're more sensitive to things that can affect your mood, such as depression, alcohol can negatively influence that, and it's because it affects serotonin. So by reducing alcohol, you can actually therefore positively influence your serotonin release. But you can also influence your serotonin release by eating other things. So serotonin is really positively encouraged to release through eating foods rich in things like B vitamins, where you'll find chicken and eggs and green leafy vegetables, nuts and seeds, which also contain essential fatty acids. So nuts and seeds, they can help boost serotonin as well. And increasing your intake of magnesium as well can boost up a little bit of serotonin and elevate your mood. And often we're always looking for balance, and obviously if with serotonin you want that to be kind of positively balanced for you and not negatively influenced by the foods that you're eating. So that's just one example of how one hormone out of all of the 50 or so hormones that are contained within your body, how they can be influenced with food. So of course, I think overall the trickiest part is making the decision for yourself about what you want to create and how you want to feel every day. And generally, if you want to feel really great, lively, energetic, positive in mood, have great skin, great hair, have energy to go and do great things with the kids and just feel good every day, then you're always going to find a better pathway. Your body, your hormones influenced far more positively through food or a diet that is rich in real food, fruits and vegetables, meats, lean meats, fish, oily fish, sweet potato, all of those kind of things. Anything that's really great for your body that is single ingredient usually and will positively influence your body, will positively influence your hormones. If you want to be more technical and more specific, then you can look at what foods positively influence the hormones that you're most concerned about. And that's definitely something that we can talk about more in a one-to-one, Lisa. So if you're interested in having that discussion, then we can have that through our Vitality group. And I hope for everyone else that has taken the time just to have a brief listen to this, take at something quite complex, and hopefully I've made it a little bit simple, then I hope you've enjoyed as well. If you have any more questions or any feedback, then you can get hold of me at katie@zenityhealthandfitness.com. I'm usually quite good at answering my emails within at least 24 hours, so you can throw me an email over and I will see if I can point you in a good direction to understand a little bit more about your hormones and what foods can help you. Thanks for listening.